Hello viewers and welcome to Science TV News. You are with me, Ben Werangai, with my sign language interpreter doing the voicing, Tobias Wamondi. On to our first news item. The Nairobi National Museum transformed into a center of media exchange yesterday, hosting the third annual Africa Media Festival. Hundreds of media professionals from across Africa met in the museum, focusing on the continent's progress along the media landscape. The festival's central theme, Bridging Gaps, Connecting Media Futures, led the day's discussions. Attendees challenged critical issues including bridging technological, cultural, and generational divides. The Africa Medium Festival proved to be a success, creating connections that are crucial for the continuation of media in Africa.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Stacey.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
I'm also doing well.
Yeah.
So, how has been the event so far?
So far, so good. We're on day 2. We had a really exciting day yesterday. We had quite a number of activities from Ignite talks and demos to the workshops now on the first day. And then our day 2 is basically a continuation of the same, just now different topics as well.
All right. What are the key gaps that the Bridging the Gaps will address?
Yeah. So, I mean, media for a very long time, especially in Africa and globally, there have been silos, right, that exist.
Yeah.
So, for example, you'll find the journalists and the editors are in their own silo, and then you're having the independent new media like podcasters in their own silo as well. And what we're trying to do with this year's theme is how do we bridge those gaps that exist? How do we basically put a stop to those silos? Because one thing that is for certain is when they look at things like technology, for example, those are things that are disrupting everybody's line of work, whether you're a journalist, whether you're a podcaster, whether you're a photographer, and the like. That's what is happening, right? So that is our aim, and you'll see from the program that we've designed, we're trying to find topics that sort of like blend into each other. Like, for example, journalism and AI. How can those two work together?
Yeah. And how does the program ensure that the diverse voices are represented?
Yeah, thank you for actually bringing that up. It was actually very intentional for us when we began thinking about the curation process. Our curation team really thought about what are the tracks that are going to guide this year's conversation. So if our theme is bridging gaps, that means that we have to deliberately factor in certain voices into the room. So for example, for us, we have a track called Elevating Voices, and the particular track is focusing on how do we get the voices, for example, a rural TikToker, right, a rural citizen journalist, to come and actually share the lessons that they're learning while on the ground. We've done this, for example, through certain workshops that are being led by more overlooked voices. Let's say, for example, people who are part of the albinism community, if they are, hard of hearing, how do we bring them deliberately into the space? And what we've learned from that is you actually actively have to plan for that and bring them in. It's not putting out a call and saying if you fit this criteria, you're welcome. No, we actually actively have to look for the people. And we're very happy with how it's going so far, and the reception from the attendees and how they're participating.
Oh, all right. So compared to the past 2 editions, how would you say the 2025 edition is?
So far, so good. I would say each year we've had different learnings. The first learning after the first edition was that nobody likes a conference setup. That's what the vision that we had for this festival, and the community told us no, take us away from the conference style setup in a hotel, and that's now what was our biggest learning for the first one. The second one was that what happened after is that people began referring to it as the Africa Media Village, because as you come into the space, you see the way the setup is, right? Like, and in a typical village, everybody plays a very significant role, right? And they do so in community with each other. So I'm waiting to do a proper analysis mentally after this one, but so far so good.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Stacey.
Hello guys, so my name is Marcus. This is my first time coming to this event. I am from Kikuyu, so I am a producer, writer, and also do kid skating at Kid Pharmaco in Kikuyu. So today I've learned a lot of things, especially from science media. I've learned how to produce my films, I've also learned about style from one of the best clothing brands I've found today, and also about podcasting from DW. Yeah, thank you.